Yeah, and I agree with that. So, on a practical basis, many people look at Congress and they look at the Senate and they believe that's the mountaintop. It's not. You can go for you can be local councillors in America and affect really great change. Really great change. But are you prepared to do that? Look, not everybody who is black is going to be for you.
That's
And,
right.
and and that's the truth. In fact, you have many white people who will more support you and be for you because I happen to believe that not all white people are racist.
Oh,
You
yeah.
understand?
Oh,
That
yeah.
they,
Same.
they, they, they,
I
they
know.
just are not. And anybody who says that, I'm not going to listen to that. I'll put the phone down. I just won't. However, I will say to you that if we come together and we organize in a constructive manner, there are many
Hmm.
people who will jump on board with us. Yeah, they
That's right.
will do. What we've got to send a message out is that
You know,
there are many of us.
why? Do you know why? Because in this current system, power respects power.
Power.
That
Absolutely.
is that is just what happens. And if we
Yeah.
wield no power, we gain
Hmm.
no respect.
Well, hold on a second. And when we have that power, but like we show it in ways that won't benefit us in the long run. And so, for example, do you see how powerful, or quote unquote powerful, the police looked when they had George Floyd on the floor,
Yeah.
and you had the little dumpy Asian officer there with the white officers, and the officer had his foot on his neck. He felt all powerful. I've
Mhm.
got the gun. However, America had 16,692 murders. Pakistan had 9,631 murders. When you look at the whole socio-economic factor, I decided to look at Africa. And South Africa had 30,000, and it's a basket case there, had 30,960
Oh,
murders. And what I did, I went through 27 countries, all the 27 countries that were part of this particular study. And
hmm,
so, for example, when I looked at Israel, Israel have been very good in shutting out terrorists and so on and so forth from their country, but they still had, I think it was 156 murders. Austria had 148 murders. Who do you think were killing Israelis? Was
Israelis.
other Israelis.
Yeah,
Who do you
yeah.
think was killing Austrians? There were
Austrians.
other Austrians. And
Yeah.
this is the reason why what what Candace Owens does, yeah, and to a slightly lesser extent, Larry Elder and complete buffoons like Jesse Lee Peterson, what they do, they bring up a false.
Leave Jesse alone, man. Leave
Yeah,
Jesse alone.
Jesse's a buffoon. Yeah,
Yeah.
but what they do, they bring up false equivalencies. Yeah, equivalencies. It's a false equivocation. It's a lie. It's a deceit. Yeah, it's propaganda for the
Mm,
Republican Party or whoever. And you ask yourself that all we ask for is fairness when you do these reportings. So of course, the killings in Chicago are a disgrace. When I was
yeah.
younger, the killings in Brixton were a disgrace. Let's
Yeah.
not gloss over it. But the fact is, when you have people from a poor socio-economic background, you're not saying that
Mm,
it's an excuse. I'm just saying to you that even in a court case, if there's someone's killed, even the court wants to know whether it was murder or manslaughter. Yeah,
mm,
meaning that they want to hear the evidence. The
mm.
facts are that the socio-economic factors, yeah, are
Have a huge part.
prevalent.
They have a huge part to play in this.
Of course they do, Sarah.
Yeah. They
Of course
really
they
do.
do.
They
And
really do.
anyone who says any different is literally playing a very, very sinister game. And I question their motives in bringing things up. You do not say a woman was raped over there, and you say yes, but what was she wearing? Because if you said that, people
Yeah.
would look at you and they would question you and they would ask, well, why are you behaving in that manner? You don't
Yeah. say
say that a man was brutally murdered by thuggish, brutal police, and then say, yes, but there were some killings 250, 300 miles away. And
Yeah.
it doesn't make any sense
Yeah.
whatsoever. It's a false
Yeah.
equivocation. And Stormy said poverty and hopelessness. It's true. And who was that? Niche said victim blame. It's true. You don't blame the victim for being murdered. You blame the person that murdered them. You
All right.
understand? And
Go on. So what we're
go
gonna
ahead,
do?
go ahead, sir.
We're gonna do now. We're gonna go to solution.
The solutions.
Solutions now.
Yeah.
Let's round up with the solutions.
All right. The solutions for me is simply this, and unfortunately, it's not a simple solution. It's a solution that's going to be years in the making. It took us a long time to get to this situation, and it will take us a very long time. Yes, it will take a very long time to get out of this situation. I think where Americans are concerned, Black Americans are concerned, what they should do is resign en masse from both the Democrat and the Republican parties. That's the first thing that they should do. They should then have a group of trusted people who they trust to bring the facts to them in a clear, incisive way that benefits them as a group of people. Look,
Correct.
I have a great deal of respect for Israel, and I do. And do you know the reason why? Because Israel has no problem standing up for Jews around the world. It doesn't matter whether it's in America. It doesn't matter. You know, my business partner's a Jew. Do you understand? And Drake, terrific guy. Do you understand? And the great thing about them, the great thing about Jews, they don't ask you to become one. You understand?
Right.
Because they're happy. They don't need you to become one. Yeah. But the point that I'm making is that they stand up for Jews. You know, we've got our brethren right now living in Argentina. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And there are plenty of Jews there. The Jews in Argentina are as protected as the Jews in London, as protected as the Jews in Israel. And why can't we do exactly the same thing? Do you understand? You have Jews in the Democratic Party, but you have Jews in the Republican Party. Do you understand? You do. But
I tell you something.
Go ahead.
You've got Jews in the Democratic Party. You've got Jews in the Republican Party. You have Jews in Labour. You have Jews in Conservative. But if you go for Jews, they wouldn't give a damn what party they're about.
They all unify against you.
And if black people don't take the exact same way, that everyone else does, and I've said, you're gonna make me go off now because I've said this for so long.
Yeah.
If you occupy a certain level on the socioeconomic ladder, it does not matter what party that you are from. It doesn't matter that it doesn't matter you are Republican. It doesn't matter, because if they go for black people, if we don't look at the fact that they are black first and start thinking black first, then these things will happen. Jews, again, I admire Jewish people for saying, listen, we can be Democrat, Republican, but if you come for us as Jews, we don't give a damn about what party.
That's right, because we're Jewish first.
That line, we got problems.
Yeah, and so when we're looking at the solutions then it is that we divest ourselves from these parties, because we then have to take on ideologies and listen to ideologues who do not speak on our behalf. And so, you know, when have you ever heard black people, for example, say that we believe that we should have abortion at 9 months? Just before the child is going to be born. But this is the policy of the Democratic Party. Do you understand? And you say to yourself, there are black people in that Democratic Party that support that party, and as a result must support that policy. Otherwise, they wouldn't support that party. There are Christians who they believe in the 10 Commandments, or as my Jewish friend will tell me 613 commandments, and they will say that thou shalt not kill. But yet Christians are members of a party that believe in abortion, do you understand, at 9 months, which is killing. And so all I'm saying to you is if we do the same thing, as you said earlier, we will get the same result. So we divest ourselves from that. We then look critically at the policies and then make demands as to what it actually is that we want. America and the Federal Reserve, has always said that we're controlling the purse strings tightly. There is no money. We cannot help you. COVID-19 hits, and all of a sudden, they found 10 trillion. Do you understand? Right. Which your great-grandchildren are going to be paying off that debt. And so you haven't used that money to build the infrastructure of poor communities. Yeah, you have not done that. You've not built infrastructure in those communities in terms of education, paying teachers what they're worth. Yeah, even paying some police what they're worth. Do you understand? In those communities, you haven't done that. You have left those communities to rot, hoping that there will be internecine warfare, so black people can hate white people. Yes, so straight people can hate gay people. You understand? So Muslims can hate Jews, and Jews can hate Muslims. They fermented this problem. Yeah, they fermented this problem, because I don't know a single black person who, when they was growing up, saying that when I grow up, I want to be a bum. I want to be a gangster. I want to be a man. Net one. All of them had the same aspirations of some of the rich people that I know. Right. Yeah, they have the same absolute aspirations, but something somewhere is lost along the line. The next thing that I would say, and I'm not sure if I'm the right person to say, we're a small minority. We can only police with the consent of the people. And they realize they have lost the consent. And I'm telling you, yeah, denounce the looters if you wish. And I don't believe they should be doing what they're doing. But that is the language that they're speaking to the political parties, both on the mythical left and the mythical right. You understand, that have completely ignored them. And this is what they're saying. We're saying, look at those burning buildings. This is what we're talking about. Do I agree with it? No, I don't. Do I understand it? Yes, I do. Don't say that violence doesn't work. Yeah, you look at the Taoiseach now in America, and sorry, in Ireland. Yeah, you look at Northern Ireland. Yeah, who are the power base there? Who are the power base there now? Yeah, Sinn Féin. Sinn Féin. Where did the Sinn Féin come from? Came from the IRA. They had the political wing and they had the arm wing. Don't tell me violence doesn't work. They went and they blew up the exchange. Yeah, down in Canary Wharf. Yeah, in Canary Wharf. And there were people in that government, there were people in business who said to the parliament, you're going to have the conversation with these people. We can't allow this. We can't allow this to carry on. These people went and only tried to take out. Hear me 1 second, Sarah. Yeah. Not only did they try to kill Margaret Thatcher, they tried to take out the whole government. Do you understand? These same people, last point I made, these same people went to Prince Charles's favorite uncle, Lord Mountbatten, the last viceroy of India, you understand, and blew him and a couple of his nieces to pieces. And yet politicians frog marched the Queen into signing, with signing regarding Northern Ireland. Yeah, they frog marched her into signing legislation, and she had to sit down. The Queen had to sit down. Don't tell me violence doesn't work. Violence has always worked.
She had to sit down with the so-called terrorists. But what I would say to you is this: organized terrorism isn't looked on as terrorism. Okay,
no, so that's very true. Very true. Very true.
So organized terrorism isn't looked upon as such. What would happen in this day and time right now is if black people were to do some terroristic actions, let's say, it would be looked on as terrorism. The thing that black people in America need to understand is while the US government is an organized situation, they are allowed to, I say allowed with quotations, they're allowed to enact terrorism because they're organized. Okay, so the US government, the UK government, they can go to other countries and enact terrorism because they are organized. They see black people in America aren't organized.
But it's not framed as terrorism.
It's not, but it's
framed as patriotism.
Yeah, patriotism, by any other name. But what I'm trying to say is, if black people were to, if that was the plan, and I'm not saying it should be or shouldn't be, I'm saying if that was the plan, you'd need to be organized. You'd need to have a organization, just like the IRA did with Sinn Féin. You would need to have an organization.
Look, let me just say to you, just in case there are outside people listening to this and having the wrong message, I'm not advocating for that at all. You understand? I'm not advocating for it, but like I do remember the Basque separatists, ETA. I do remember the German Baader-Meinhof group. Yeah, I do remember them. I do remember the terrorists in the PLO in 1972 with the Israeli Olympics. Do you understand? The Red Faction Brigade. Do you understand? I remember all of these organizations, had violence at the core of what they wanted to do. We've now moved on. The violence now is far more subtle, unless it's apparent and brutal. It's far more subtle. Social media is there to be used. Do you know we could take down Nike overnight? Do you know with a well rehearsed campaign, we can say, look, we're going to send a message to the NWO, yeah, and we're saying now nobody buys Nike worldwide. You put some rappers on that, put some singers on that, yeah, put pressure on them, some footballers on that. We're not wearing Nike anymore. What do you think happens? That's real power. Yeah, whereby you can take down elite organizations. You take them down. Yeah, power concedes nothing without a demand. We've not been demanding too much. Yeah, we have not. And we have allowed the stupid amongst us, yeah, to rise to prominence. Do you understand? And so, for example, you know, people, they'll be able to tell you about 6ix9ine. They will be able to tell you. Yeah, they'll be able to tell you who won the other day, Bounty Killer or Beanie Man. Do you understand? And they keep us imbibed with foolishness, so we can't see the wood for the trees. But if you're asking me, the solution to this, the solution is to get up off of our backsides and to challenge the status quo and no longer give them our votes, our time, and our money without them deserving this. If COVID-19 has taught you one thing, it's the value of money. It's the value of money. When you go into the shops and they're disrespecting you, hold on a minute, I'm looking after your family by spending with you. You're treating me like this. You're not getting any more money from me. And we use campaigns to put people in their place. You're not prepared to accept. Do you remember Prince Philip going, oh, Chinese people or Japanese, slanty eye, slanty eye? Do you remember him saying this in the early 80s? Yeah. Do they say that anymore? No, they don't. You know the reason why? Because the Japanese economy is strong. Okay, it's been in a dip for a few years, but it's a strong economy. Do you think that they can disrespect the Chinese with Xi Jinping? They can't. Yeah, they now have the ultra nationalist Prime Minister Modi in India. Do you think they can disrespect them? No, they can't. No matter what they do to my boy Yeltsin. Yeah, what's my boy in Russia called? I've just forgotten his name.
Putin, you mean?
Putin. Yeah. They cannot disrespect these leaders because these leaders have demanded respect. We have demanded nothing. Yeah, nothing whatsoever. And who are our speakers today? I think, well, 50 Cent. Oh, you don't want to he control you. Do you understand? P. Diddy. These are not our spokespeople. Spokesmen. Understand? You know, like these mumble rappers are not our spokesman. Cardi B is not our spokespeople. Yeah, seriously, they're not. They're allowed their view, and that's their fun. But they do not speak on our behalf. Under no circumstances. We need to get up off our backsides and say, right, I need to speak to my cousin in Texas and say, Verlene, this is what we should be looking at. Spread the word. That is what we need.
Right.
Yeah, but just burning down where you live, I don't think that's a good idea. But I understand.
Listen, big bro, thank
you
for joining me. We're gonna end it.
It was good to speak to you, Sarah.